Hey everyone, you're watching Inside the Underground and I'm your host Kiana Walker. Right now we are in the Mile End of Montreal at Sunrise Cafe and Collections. This is basically a cafe and a retail store all in one. And I'm about to meet up with one of Montreal's gems, singer-songwriter and wonderful Mrs. L. Ray.
Saturday morning, he jumped out of bed and put his best suit on. Got in his car and raced like a jam all the way to you. Knocked on your door with a heart in his hand to ask you a question, 'cause he know that you're an old-fashioned man. He said, can I have your daughter for the rest of my life? Say yes, 'cause I need to. He said, you'll never have my blessing till the day I die.
So you said that your dad was the lead singer of a reggae band.
Yes.
And then your aunt was a lead singer of a heavy metal band.
That's right.
So being, so absorbed in a family that was so musically inclined, did you feel like some sort of pressure to pursue this particular career?
No, not at all. Actually, I didn't even think I was going to end up in music. My family was very open, but for some reason I was always going for something more traditional, so I studied languages.
Oh.
And I also studied business. But it's only later on, as I kept singing and kept exploring, that, and when I picked up a guitar, I just was like, you know what, I freaking love this. This is for me. So
that's where your passion lies.
Yes.
And then in 2011,
Yeah.
you won a music scholarship to Tech
right.
Music School
Yeah.
in the UK.
Yeah.
So you were living in London for 8 years.
That's right.
So what was that experience like, and how would you compare the London music scene to the Montreal music scene?
It's kind of, okay, in Montreal, there's a lot of places where you can perform, and that's really nice. So imagine London times 20.
Oh, wow.
So just to give you an idea, when I first picked up the guitar, I started to play open mics over there, because there are a lot of open mics. You could go to one open mic a day easily. You can choose between 5 or more per day to go to, and I used to do 2 open mics a day at one point.
Wow. So that actually leads me to my next question. What's your favorite part about the Montreal music scene, and what do you think needs to get improved on in terms for artists to be able to thrive more musically?
What I love about Montreal, it's really authentic. There's such a melting pot. It's just, that soul is so there, like you can feel it everywhere, and everyone's so open to sharing their experiences. So I really like that about Montreal. When I moved back here, it really felt like home, like the tam-tams, like the percussion, that like Afro vibe, that's my favorite thing about Montreal. To improve, which is a very difficult question, because I'm thinking about the number of people in a city and the number of musicians. I mean, there's a lot of artists here, and there's a lot of shows, and sometimes there's like there's 5 shows a day with 5 different artists. People can't go to 5 different shows, and sometimes it's the same scene that like to go out and see music or listen to music. I'm not sure how to answer that question, how to improve. I guess more open mics.
More open mics.
Maybe more open mics,
if that's even possible.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, as an independent artist, working on your own is it's very difficult to break through. You absolutely need to have a team, someone that has great ideas to market your music outside of Montreal.
Outside of Montreal, not just in Montreal.
Yes. What also makes it difficult is that there's a French scene and there's an English scene. So to cater to both is also quite a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
Yeah. Do you try to do both, or you stick to English?
Yes, because I'm so much more comfortable. I mean, I'm French, je suis francophone aussi.
Okay.
But I'm more comfortable in English, probably because of the time that I spent with my dad in London, and then continued my school over there. And it's just I started to write.
Right.
I started to write in English in London, so it wasn't like, oh, I'm in London, let me try to write in French. No, it didn't happen. So,
True.
So I continued working in English. I mean, writing in French is another skill. I mean, for people that can do both, it's quite amazing. Like, chapeau.
And you've actually written a number of songs which have actually won songwriting competition. Where do you find your inspiration in terms of writing music?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
It always comes back to my personal experience somewhere. But it could be something that happened to me. It could be something that I watched, a film, or an emotion, or a social event, or something that I really hate. I mean, a lot of times I've written songs about the new president, but I mean, they'll never find the light of day.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, like it really, it comes from everywhere. That's inspired by one of my songs called Gold for Water. So the whole idea is to just find a balance between saving money and enjoying life. And in my case, it was last winter. I was just so tired of the cold. I wanted to go on the beach, so I was like, I'm ready to trade all my gold just to go to the water. So yeah.
I also wanted to touch on a subject that we were discussing last night. So I had mentioned the fact that we were both biracial. And then you said that the word race has never really been part of your vocabulary. And that's something that I found very interesting because, you know, you're a woman who is half French Canadian, half Jamaican, and you're living in a city like Montreal. So how do you manage to navigate the city disregarding the term race?
It's a little weird, but it's a habit thing. My mother and my dad are very open people, and so I grew up without really feeling that identified to something or country or a nation or a culture. It was more just like me and lots of people that have a lot of rich different types of background that I can explore and enjoy. I don't like putting people in boxes, and it just doesn't make sense to me. So that's why I like to stay open-minded with that. I mean, it's a habit, so yeah.
That's a beautiful answer, and I really respect that as well. And you also mentioned the fact that you try to live your life according to Buddhist and Rastafarian values while applying these values to the modern world. So in what ways do you manage to do this?
Rastafarian beliefs, Buddhism, and also Native American ones. They all have something in common that's all about respecting life, any form of life, plants, animals, people, obviously. But I try not to be too extreme. Because I mean, we still live in a city, right? And some things are applicable, but not to the fullest. That's why I'm vegetarian. I try to be vegan as much as possible. but again, you know, like I try to not be drastic, but I'd say I'm pretty much 95% vegan. Yeah.
Almost there.
Yeah.
Almost there.
Yeah.
That could be your 2018 resolution.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, Montreal to Montego Bay. Don't wanna dream about the beach for the baby. Yeah. Oh no, you're from London to LA. Don't wanna wait for the right time. I wanna make it so. I'll be trading gold